Hello people out there. This is a boring documentation of the creation of an interesting programming language. I don't really have the time to make this video proper, so I'm really sorry. Please have fun or don't. At this state of the language, it is capable of quite a lot of things. It is probably even Turing complete. I don't know. I don't have the time to test it. Yeah, I forgot to mention this is an intermediate language, so that's why it looks so strange. If you are familiar with the concept, it is stack based. I actually decided to create it because of a high level language I have in my mind. So of course you can do all the arithmetic comparison, logical operations with signed, unsigned and decimal numbers, like here, here and here and so on. You can invoke syscalls, and there is even a mapping for a few of them. You can see one here. This actually invokes the libc function in the background, and I want to replace it later with the assembly code. There is quite a large number of memory management opcodes. For example, here that means load 8 bytes at address that you have on the stack, or store on 8 bytes the value that you have on the stack, and many other things like load the address of a global variable or a function. Yeah, you can define types, procedures, global and local variables. This is a type definition. Here is a member of the type. Here is a global variable. Here is a function. These are attributes, by the way. This is a local variable. There is no jump instructions in this language to make it more optimizable in the future. So you have if statements and loops. This is the if statement, the head and the body, and then this is an elif, and this is the body of the elif, and this is the else branch. Looks like this. You can of course change any number of elifs. This is a loop, head and body. Yeah, and I'm actually quite proud of it. You have try catch blocks and throw instructions. This is the try, this is the catch. This is the throw-in section right here and here. Scoping and privacy are not a thing in this language, since this is intermediate, so you don't really need them. Yeah, you reference local variables and parameters or arguments with their number, and local variables are preceded with this kind of symbol, and arguments are preceded by hashtag. The next things I want to implement is generics, type, function and variable objects, inheritance and some other compiler-defined attributes, and the chance to retrieve values from user-defined attributes. I'm also planning to implement lambdas, which will help a lot. Actually, the main selling point of this language will be generics. It will have some features I never saw before in another language. Let's have a look how this compiles and what output it generates. It gives us a warning that we have unreachable code right here. It's because of this throw instruction that is not in an if statement or anything. So yeah, everything behind that is unreachable, and it is known in compile time. But it's still compiled, so we can run it, and it gives the expected output. We printed this STONK program because STONK is the name of this language, by the way. I forgot to mention that. It's quite important. It printed the sum and the result of the division. It printed 2 is greater than 1 because it entered the second branch in the if statement. Printed the numbers from 10 to 1 and then from 0 to 3, because actually what we do here is allocating memory for our global variable, and set its values to 0, 1, 2 and 3, and then read them back. And then we have this catch printed because we catched an exception, and we rethrew it, so it exits with exit code 1, and it prints that an unhandled exception occurred. No one understands what's going on, because that's what I give it as a parameter for its constructor. We catch it and then rethrow it. And this is the return of code. I don't know how fast I will be able to proceed, since I graduate this year and take part in a ton of competitions, not to talk about the study groups. So see you in a few weeks or years. I'm out.